Hello, each and everyone. Welcome to my blog corner. Pinch of salt. I'm so excited to share with you, and it's been a while. I haven't, do a video for YouTube, but here you go. I've been having some technical problem with my iPod that I use to record, and so I'm using my phone. The quality is not the same. That is just because of that. But you know what happened? Sometimes I realize it's not so much, how we look or how we appear or the quality of the videos and all these things. But I think it's the message, right? The message is very important. And it's more important because many times, we spend more time thinking about, oh, how is the quality? How is this and how is that? But the message have not come home. When I do these videos, my whole aim and intention is for them to come home to your spirit and to, revolutionize your life and to bring transformation to your life. Yes. So this morning I want to share with you about the unconditional love of God. The unconditional love of God. We have always heard message on the agape love that God possesses. The love of God that brought Jesus to the cross, that had no condition on it. And so that is the agape love. But today I want to look at 3 other love and share them with you so you can have a good idea which one sometimes, you find yourself in, are struggling with, are dealing with. But let me read from verse chapter 4 of 1 John and from the verse 7. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love. Not that we love God, but that God loved us first and sent his atoning sacrifice. So, dear friend, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, that will show and testify that God lives in us and his love is made complete in us. So the first love I'm going to look at right now with you. Many times people get these love confused, but once we know them, and have a good grip on them, we will know how to define them or to see what's at work or which one of these love is at work in my life. So the first one we're going to look at is the eros. E-R-O-S. The love that lusts. The love that's loved. It's derived from a Greek god called Apatoret. He is known for his erotic behaviors, explicit lust. So this lust and sexual behaviors that at times we see going on, that, everyone, this one can sleep with that one and, just do things, go out and, purchase a prostitute and don't have no attachment to it. It's this kind of love, and it's coming from a Greek king or god that was Aphrodite. That was his name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's the name, and that's where you find that love is still in manifestation today, in the life of people who can just go out and sleep with someone and have a good time without no attachment, and they get up and they go. That is the eros. Now we have the astragalus. The astragalus is the love we have for our spouse and children, also our families. In other words, we feel an unending love for them. So that love in the Greek, it's called a storage love. So we just don't get up and cut off from our children like that, right? Or from our family, or even from our spouse. You feel like something tearing when those relationships are broken, right? It really eats you out. You have this longing, wanting, to be close to them and, you know, wanting to just express that love. Well, that's that kind of love that it's deep. It's have emotional connection to it, spiritual and also, you know, physical. You want to hug, that's physical. You want to kiss your family. You want to be close to your husband, you know, get intimate with your husband and stuff like that. That's that kind of love that is a storage love, and it's not easily walk away from. Then you have the phileo, and the love, that's the love we have towards our friends. Dictionary definition of the phileo means having an infinity for one that you love or you call a friend. And for the closest one that I can remember to it who demonstrate these love is David and Jonathan in the scriptures. Remember, David said that he have a love for Jonathan that was unending, and he have a love for Jonathan have a love for David. So they both share that kind of filial love, and there was friend, there was that family, you know, the bloodlines was not the same, but yet still they feel that great love towards each other. And by the way, so many times people, you know, try to put that love into a sexual, and that's the eros that do all kind of explicit stuff, like I said before, and it doesn't care. Well, that's not the love they have. They have that deep love for each other, that they look for each other. David said, Jonathan, I got your back. Jonathan said, David, you got your back. And you have some friends like that, right? That they just got your back no matter what, and you have their back no matter what. Well, that's the phileo. Once you find that love, you know, you can define it as, oh my God, this is the phileo that I have for this friend who, you know, is just there for me. Then we have the fourth one, which is the agapeo. This is the love that isn't based on anything, any feelings, anything you do. It's just a love that is unconditional, and that is found in John chapter 3 and the verse 16. The Bible told us that for God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten son to die. Now, when Jesus came and died, it was not because we were so good why Jesus died upon the cross for us, right? But because God already determined it, that he's going to love a people. Many times God is loving us and we're not loving him back. Isn't that true? And then many of us have come into that place of loving God. And so now this is when 1 John chapter 4, you know, come alive to us. When God said we can demonstrate the agapeo towards people. Why? Because we know him, we have come to love him, and because we have come to love him, then we can grow to love people unconditional. Don't have no condition on it. It don't seem to exit because it don't stop loving because, you know what, we didn't get what we want. You cannot frustrate the agape love. Oh, hallelujah. We should be feeling really comfortable now that, you know, we're getting some definition on these four kinds of love. I am about to end this little message. You know, I'm reminded of what God say. God requires us to love as he loved. He first loved us, and he demonstrate that love to us when, you know, he sent his son to die for us. And God said we can possess that love. The love that we should be striving towards possessing is a love that do not attach anything to anything. In other words, you know, we're not going to do something because somebody's going to do back for us. Yeah, we're not going to show love because somebody's showing love back to us, because we have the love of God on the inside of us. And because we have the love of God on the inside of us, we're going to demonstrate that same love to humanity. And when we begin to show humanity that love that is not based on anything, that's how the humanity is going to see the love of God. That's how those that are lost without Jesus Christ will see the love of God. When we just simply love them because they're God's creation, they're God's handmade, created in his own likeness, in his own image. And so we began to look at them different. We began to look at, and many times, you know, it's so hard for us not to mix the love that we have, you know, for our brothers and sisters, like especially, you know, the opposite sex. Sometimes, you know, that love want to be mixed exist. But if we love God, we will know this person is, I'm just going to love this brother in Christ, and, no attachment. And the brother of Christ, can demonstrate the same thing, that I'm going to love this sister of mine without any attachment, just simply because she is the child of God. I'm going to love her through the eyes of purity, with the agape love, not thinking of anything intimate, not thinking of anything sexual. Not that those things are not important, but if that person is not yours, then we simply should just have that love of God, that pure agape love for them. God is depending upon us who have been exposed to his love, to go and expose that love to others. This generation are seeking for a love. And if you notice the things that they're getting into, they're searching. Sometimes we sit and we say things about them and how they're behaving and what's going on in the world. But if we look and see what of the power to tear down barriers, it is love. Love is powerful. And if we demonstrate, like I said, pure love, true love, the agape love, a love that said, even though I don't like your behavior, I'm still gonna love you. I don't like the things that you're involved in, I'm still gonna love you. We can win the loss for the Lord. Can we strive towards that love? And can we look back at these love and define where we are, or which one we're demonstrating to the world, or which one are being demonstrating to us? If we're in a relationship and we find out that you have to be this and you have to always be doing something for someone to love you, we need to check that relationship and see, is this the eros operating where this person don't want to come into the asparagus, meaning marriage and doing things in the right way, and you define it and you say, no, if this is it, you don't need that eros love, you need the asparagus love that will have a connection, that we can work together, you can work together and fulfill your purpose in this earth. Until next time, I pray that you were blessed by this little video, and if it blessed you, share it with someone. So stay preserved until next time. God bless you.